I'm Steph from Stitching with Steph. Welcome to my channel. This week we're going to be doing March's final week 5 stitch with me. Of course it's not finished, but come and do a stitch along with me. If you're a subscriber, thank you for coming back for week 5, and I hope you stay till the end of the video. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It would do me a huge favor, and I would really appreciate the follow, and it would help boost our videos to the recommended feed and for you. If you like my content, go ahead and click that bell notification so you can go ahead and get notifications anytime that I load new videos. And then go ahead and comment below what you like about Stitch With Me videos and why you like to watch them. Let's go ahead and head into this week's Stitch With Me, and it is, again, our week 5, our final Stitch With Me for our March canvas. All right, friends, as you can see, last week we left off here. I didn't really do much more on this canvas. I've been working on some other projects that I didn't film and stuff that I've just been doing on my lunch break at work. So we're going to finish up this R here and finish hopefully this C, and then this one's going to be going put away till next March. Like I said at the beginning of this project, it's probably going to take me a while to finish this, and that's okay. That's the joy of stitching, right? That we get to do these kind of things. I can't believe it's already the end of March. Wow. Who's ready for April? How's everyone enjoying spring so far? As you can see, I already had my needle prepped, like I always do for my Stitch With Me's. I'm just ready for warmer weather, but not hot weather. I like spring and fall. Those are my favorite seasons. Summer's okay, but I suffer from migraines, so the heat tends to trigger them. So I do like the cooler slash warmer days. Not too cold, but not too hot. You know how that goes. I see we are going to have an issue with this thread this week, and we're already not even one in. I might have to re-wax this, friends, so just bear with me. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to have to re-wax this. Let me see. So here's my atrocious wax here. I like waxing my thread because it lays flat, and I tend to not get as many knots in it as I would if it's not wax, as you could probably tell. Does anybody watch anything while they're stitching? I'm watching what's called 10 to Life right now. It's a YouTube channel. So I'll try to talk to you guys pretty frequently through this. But if I get a little bit quiet, it's because I'm just listening to the details of the story. It's about the Idaho College kids and like updates on the case. If anyone is interested in it, the story is called, let me see, hold on. It's called the Idaho 4, and it's just giving updates on the accused individual that is responsible for it, that they say allegedly is responsible for it. So if you want, head on over to, her name's Annie Elise. Her channel is called 10 to Life, Annie Elise. I do like watching her. She's pretty thorough with her videos. I prefer to watch more independent individuals than actual news channels nowadays, because let's be honest, they're not very reliable nowadays. I feel like our news stations are not as thorough, or they have a hidden agenda, or they're biased. I'm not a fan of biased news, so I also watch international news stations. So there you go. You learned something new about me today. I watch international news before local news or U.S. news. And I don't think I'll be watching it for several years, to be honest, the way things are. All right, there we go. What do you guys like watching while you're stitching? Well, besides a Stitch with Me. I do watch Stitch with Me's. There are a few content creators I like. There we go. And just like that, we'll hopefully have the word March finished up. Hopefully within this video. That's as long as we don't get, well, the black part of the word March. That's as long as we don't get knots and tangles and stuff, because that happens. It wouldn't be a Stitch with Steph if we didn't have knots and tangles, right? And I feel like it happens more often to me than others is because I stitch in hand as well. I don't use, because it's smaller, I don't necessarily use a frame. If it's a bigger piece, I'll use a frame and a stand, but I don't like going through all the work of putting it in a frame and then in a stand, and because I rotate out between my projects so much, because I tend to lose interest sometimes. And between that and doing my Stitch with Me's and floss tubes and all that fun stuff, I do switch out pretty frequently, so. I'm still waiting on my stand from AliExpress for my one large project that I'm going to be starting with you guys. That one's going to be a surprise though. I'm going to do a review on the canvas and a start with me because I haven't even started it yet. It's just a really pretty piece that I think people would enjoy watching being stitched. And it's going to take me a while. That one's going to be staying on my large standing canvas frame just because it has a lot of colors in it and stuff like that. So versus like my red dragon one, it's one color, so I like stitching that one in the winter time because I can sit down on the couch and it kind of works like a blanket because it's so big, and I just stitch a little section by section. I was telling my husband, with the way things are going, I feel like there's just so much like entitlement and hate in the world right now that I'm going to be spending a lot more time in my home and in my garden and doing things at home with my kids. My daughter's going to be starting college, so I know she's going to need support in that area too. So I don't mind. I don't mind staying at home. We pay all this money for a mortgage, might as well stay home and enjoy it, right? And the way that I see it is I pay $10, $20 for a kit and it gives me hours of entertainment. So that's the way I see it. Same thing with my gardening. I spend money on it, but it gives me entertainment. I'm the type of person when it's warm out, I'll sit out on my front porch on my chairs and I'll stitch and watch my kids play outside. I don't let them go out in the front unsupervised. Too many crazy people in the world nowadays. Or if they're outside in the back playing, I'll let the dogs out back and I'll just sit under our patio, on our patio furniture, and I'll just sit there and stitch for hours enjoying the fresh air. So, yeah, I don't like to be out in the sun per se. I'm recovering from, a lot of my family and friends don't know this, so if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But back in October, I noticed some spots on my skin, on my face, so I made a dermatologist appointment. And I did undergo some chemo treatments on my face. So I naturally don't even like being in the sun. Before, my dermatologist said, "You're too young to be having this kind of issue." And I'm like, "I don't even like going in the sun, ma'am." Like, if I do go outside, I wear a big old grandma gardening hat. I put sunblock on. Like, we buy literally sunblock in bulk. None of my kids have ever had a sunburn. That's how diligent I am with sun care and sun cream when we do go swimming and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, like, we're not sure what happened and why I ended up getting the spots. So I did undergo treatment for that all the way till from December, beginning of December till the day before Valentine's Day. And I'm still on some steroid cream right now because my nose does tend to get red still from where the chemo treatment was. And it doesn't help that I wear masks for work. I wear regular face masks, which everyone, you know what those are, hopefully. And then we have ones that are for like airborne, so people with tuberculosis or COVID or something along those lines. I have to wear an air isolation mask for that, which is, it literally filters everything through it. There's not even an air can't escape out of it. So those ones are pretty tight on my nose. So my boss is pretty good about making sure my charge nurses are pretty good about making sure that I don't get assigned those kind of rooms. But once in a while it does happen and it does irritate my nose and the redness will flare up and then I have to start the steroid cream again. So yeah, I try not to be in the sun. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably even more terrified since I had that diagnosis back in December. I use sunblock no matter what before. I'm even 10 times more diligent than I was before. I even have sunblock in my makeup. So yeah, this year I'll probably do what I normally do. I tend to garden more in the evening because my backyard gets the afternoon shade and my front of my yard gets the morning shade. So like when I need to mow my lawn and stuff, I'll do it really early in the morning in the front and I'll get all my gardening and watering of my plants done really early in the morning, like 7 a.m. And then in the evening, as the sun's going down, I'll mow the back of my yard and then do all my gardening in the afternoon. Just because I don't like heat. It triggers my migraines. And then on top of that, now my skin issues. Like I'm good. I'm good being out in the sun, guys. It's going to be interesting this year swimming because my little one, he knows how to swim, but he's still like he's finishing up like learning how to swim. So I do have to get in the pool with him. I do wear sun hats in the pool. I'm one of those people. But again, I think I'm just a little paranoid because I'm worried about any other lesions popping up on my skin. I do go yearly for checkups. I'm one of those blessed people now that I have yearly checkups with my dermatologist because of my diagnoses. So, but it is what it is. You just roll with the punches and hope for the best is the way I see it. And luckily, even my dermatologist said, like, how did you catch it? Because it was literally like the size. One mark was like it looked like a big scaly freckle. And then the other one was the size of a pin needle, like a pinhead. So like really small, like that small on my skin. And so she asked me how I caught it. And I told her, like, I originally thought it was a pimple, to be honest. And I put like a pimple patch on it. And I'm like, it wasn't going away. So like after a week, I asked my husband to take a picture of it and zoomed in on it. And you could see the blood vessels forming in it already when I zoomed in on the picture. And again, it was this size, guys. Like it was so small, but when I zoomed in on it, you could see the blood vessels forming on it. So I knew what it was. I didn't panic because I was like, okay, it's small, like we're good. And like my doctor said, like I caught it very early. A lot of people don't catch it. And she said probably like my training in healthcare and, you know, what to look for, stuff like that, probably contributed to me finding it so early. And I wouldn't doubt it because as a nurse assistant and as nurses and doctors, we're trained to spot those differences, right? But even more so in nursing, we are literally trained to pay attention to all your small changes when you're in the hospital to make sure you're taken care of properly and we can prevent anything bad from happening to you. So I apply that to myself and my family as well, to be honest. So yeah, I just caught it super early. There's a little fun fact for you. All right. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Give me one moment. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I am chewing gum to hopefully keep my mouth from drying out, but when you do stitch with me's and you're talking on a consistent basis, you tend to dry out a little. I know some people don't mind drinking and stuff on camera. I don't like it. I don't want you hearing me slurping and chugging my water. Alrighty. We might actually get done with the whole word March in the black. I'll be impressed. When it's colors like this, it's pretty easy for me to power through. Do you guys like block stitching? I like block stitching for the sake of getting it done, not because it keeps me entertained. I like confetti because it helps me keep my focus. And I'm going to be doing, let's see, a counted cross stitch this week. I'm going to be starting that this week, so you guys are going to be on that journey with me. It is from one of the 3 that I reviewed this week. So that's, is it this week or was it last week? I can't remember. It was within the past couple of weeks I did the reviews. I ordered a couple from Biggest Craft and did a review on them. I feel confident enough to journey into counted cross stitch now. I'll be honest with you, I'll probably still prefer stamped, just because I don't have to keep referencing my iPad for the pattern and all that fun stuff. Sorry, I had to see where the hole was. There's a new thing I came across. They call it cross-stitching ASMR. It's where you're just literally stitching and you hear the sounds of the thread going through the holes. And surprisingly, it's actually pretty popular. I don't know. I don't even know if my mic would pick up on that, to be honest, because I have a speech like noise canceling mic. You can't even hear my kids in the background. Maybe if I up the sensitivity on it, I might be able to. I might test it out. Seems like people like those videos. I asked my kids about it and they're like, yeah, ASMR is actually really popular and it doesn't matter what it is. I was like, huh. Kind of like those mukbang videos where people are eating. I just think it's funny that you're watching somebody eat. I don't know. It's weird. My kids, they said that they like watching the videos because they like seeing the different types of food people eat and like how much food people can eat, not necessarily like the ASMR part of it, like the sounds of them eating. They like watching what types of food and how much people can eat. So I guess that makes sense. But I guess people like the sounds of people chomping and thread going through holes, stuff like that. All right, friends, in about 5 minutes, I'll probably have to either end the video or pause it. I don't know. We'll see where we're at with our stitching. because I have to go pick up another kid. I tend to stitch more on my days off from school and work after, I want to say 10, 11 a.m. I am definitely on night shift schedule. It's hard for me to get up super early in the morning right now. It's getting easier because the sun's coming up, but yeah, about that. During the winter time, forget it. This girl ain't waking up before the sun comes up. My husband does the morning routine with our kids anyways. I'm pretty sure when I start nursing school, though, my classes, I'm going to see if my person that registers me, if I can hopefully do later in the afternoon classes. That would be ideal, but I won't know until I actually put together my schedule next year and enroll in those courses. I do know when I do my clinicals and stuff like that, that's just going to be a whole nother beast. Essentially, I told my husband for those 5 weeks during my rotations, you have a wife, but she's a ghost. The way I see it is short-term sacrifice for long-term goal. So this is my second career. So I'm doing this because I enjoy helping patients. So, and I do want to stay working as long as I can. I know some people are like, well, you're getting older. Why don't you just stick to finances? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Finances is boring. At least working in the ICU and in the hospital, like I see something new every day. And I get to be more involved. The more that I'm learning, the more involved my team is allowing me to be hands-on with things. So like when we run codes and stuff, like I had a code last week, or no, the week before, where we had a gunshot wound victim and he wasn't doing so well, and I had to cut all the bandages off of him and expose his chest and put the stuff on him for shocks, the paddles essentially for the pads for shocking him. So I get to be more involved. This line of work isn't for everybody, but when you are able to save a life and see them continue on, and then they send you guys thank you cards and all those things, it makes it worth it. At the end of the day, all that hard work is worth it. When we lose our patients, it's absolutely devastating to us as much as the family. And I don't think people really realize that because we fought hard to keep them alive, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. Unfortunately, that's not in the plan. That's not what was in their cards, unfortunately. It's not whoever the greater good is on this that created us. That wasn't in their plan. That wasn't their destiny per se. But yeah, I'm looking forward to nursing school, but I'm not at the same time because I know how chaotic it's going to be. I know how much studying I'm going to have to do. I mean, luckily I have a lot of experience in hands-on, and my nurses teach me a lot, and I mean a lot compared to other units that I've worked on. So, yeah, every day I'm learning something new. All right. Oh my gosh, friends, I think I might actually finish this before we have to go get our little crotch goblin. That's what I like to refer to my kids. If you don't like that term, I'm sorry, but that's what I call them, little crotch goblins. Okay. Ooh. No. Okay, that almost ended badly. Oh, no, it in fact ended badly. We have one more stitch to do. And a couple more minutes before we have to leave. Okay. So when your thread is like this small, I'll be honest with you, it's such a headache. And then I'll show you how I thread it in the back. Let's see, I messed it up again. So it looks like I have 3 different lengths here, so I'm just going to cut it. So one way you can do this is to put your needle through like this, run your threader through, put your thread through like this, so you don't have to pull it so much. And then on the back, we might be able to do it. Yep, I'm hanging on for dear life to that thread, guys. There we go. Sorry, guys, my eyes are not cooperating with me. There we go. Okay. All right, friends, that concludes this month of March, week 5, Stitch With Me. This project will be going put away until next March, so we will not be stitching this project for the rest of the year. Again, that's a March project. If you're a subscriber, thank you for sticking along for this far. I really appreciate you coming along with me, you grabbing your projects and stitching with me. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoyed this stitch with me, or you just need some company while you're doing your projects, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And then go ahead and click that bell notification. So anytime that I do a new video, which I do several a week, you'll get a notification when one is loaded. And if you want to go ahead and leave me a comment, asking me any questions or leaving any type of feedback, I'll be more than likely to respond to that in a timely manner. If you want to follow me on other social media, I do have an Instagram account as well as a TikTok account. My username over there on both platforms is stitching_with_Steph. At the end of my video, I do have a QR code as well for my TikTok. Thank you for coming along with week 5, March's Stitch With Me. I'll see you in my next Stitch With Me video. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.